morning, colleagues, and apologies, Alison, that I did not give you training on how to pronounce my surname properly on time. I take responsibility for that. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and it is my first time on the stage, so yes, it's going to probably be that rocky and emotional as well. So my story really is about what is an African science in a global space. So stories of millennials from natural sciences background are certainly interesting. Traversing through the inconspicuous, complex science systems operating in dense benches of inequalities has shaped local tools and some instances whereby marginalized voices have sought to be included. However, Africa's history is equally important for distilling stories about the journey of African scientists. Not forgetting to be cognizant of resources and their movement, call it kinetics or kinematics if you like, and their availability thereof, which are key to developing global impression, strengthening and deepening African voices in influencing global science system. To tell you a little bit story about myself or my experience, which I am in no way intending to treat myself as representative enough to generalize. My passion for biomedical sciences and technology continues to inform my analytical inquisitiveness and aspirations. I have enjoyed the privilege to work in the humanities and social sciences. I have seen the effects of colonial legacy, and I have seen poor decision making and leadership, to say the least. Within the science milieu, there is lack of pluriversal oriented designs, limited imagination, and improved collaboration systems, which ought to make human good debates, concepts, and desired progression towards action. So my imagination and interaction with data points to dichotomized lenses. There are always changing goalposts, oftentimes impacting the direction towards societal benefits, be it sustainable, periodic. The momentum and space is visible to few privileged folks to influence. A common concern has been a stagnating contribution towards science, technology, and innovation, particularly from African governments, which results in inequitable funding flows. So I imagine, for instance, the current climate change discourse and juxtaposed contribution of Africa's fraction of global global greenhouse gas emissions. Funding received by Global North versus African countries is incommensurate. So who gets to deeply interact and make meaning and meaningful use of data? Who has a stake in how they enjoy their stake? How does African data influence science and research agenda? What is the impact and cost of science or scientific data from Africa to the global village? Is it meaningful? The answer to the latter is simple. Yes, it is meaningful. These, ladies and gentlemen, are some of the questions I have had to think about, and I'm certain most of you have also had to ask yourself those questions, particularly as they resonate with impact that is a perturbing cry. In the era of open science, African scientists ought to strengthen practices and principles of open science that ensures information is not a mere sample. By that, I mean scientists and their communities need to create shared platforms for exchange and positioning Africa's voice in accordance to context and data that informs priority and agenda setting. I am of the view that certainly I do not want to be a voluntary participant in a platform that has limited, if not neglected, co-creation of opportunities. Depositing knowledge in EU or collective West platforms, paying author processing fees, giving up IP and IKS into European journals and repositories, these pathways do throttle Africa's imprint. We operate in global frameworks intended for development, given that Africa is not a country. So how will progress on SDGs by 2030 look like for the region? How will we view Africa's contribution and position in global science landscape in the near future? Asante.